Okay, everybody. Hello, is anybody there? Can you see me? Am I moving okay? Are you getting any lag? If there's anybody who fancies bring me up a chat, for as far as I can see, it looks okay, and I apologise for the video. Seems okay at the moment. Thank you very much, Gary. Cheers, Gary. It seems all right, doesn't it? Seems all right at the moment. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, all good. Cheers, Wayne. Thanks very much, mate. Just give it a couple of minutes, see if more people jump in, and then we'll get going. Pick looks good, mate. Right, okay. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for letting me know, and thanks very much for your patience, people. I do apologise for that. Little technical difficulties. Don't know why it happened because we tested it better. Thanks, Rick. Be better if it was a nice blonde, but you'll do, mate. I kind of agree. To be honest with you. Yeah, so it's weird that it did that because we did test it the other day. We'd been here and done a few things to the studio and tested it all. And we kind of over tested it, to be honest with you. And got bored of testing it, that we left it, and we've left it, gone away, and come back and gone live, and it's messed up a bit. So whatever, what can you do? That's what happens with technology, isn't it? Anyway, let's get started. Let's get started. So I want to talk first and foremost. I want to talk about the Tottenham game last week. The Tottenham game was it was a brilliant game to be at. It was the first game I've been at. What will I say? I mean, the Wolves game was good. The Wolves game, obviously, when we won 4-0, was fantastic. At home, but it was like the first game I'd been at where there was just loads and loads of excitement, which is dead strange, isn't it, when I say that, like, about the Wolves game. But in the Wolves game, I've said this before, we were still making like little mistakes on that if it was a better team, I think they could have capitalised on it, and we were still playing like relatively boring-ish football. The Tottenham game at the weekend, obviously, it's great because we won 3-2, but to be 3-0 up at half time and the way that we were was the best part about it. We were 3-0 up and flying. We looked like, to be honest, if that half would have had more minutes, we'd have had another 10, 15, 20 minutes in that Spurs game in the first half. Could have been anything, could have been 5-6-0. There was a chance really early on that Lindstrom had, that was saved by their keeper. What's their keeper's name? Is it Kinski or Dinsky or something like that? Good keeper, by the way, as well. But Lindstrom had one early on. Then Calvert-Lewin gets that goal. The way he scored it as well was fantastic, wasn't it? Where he takes it in, just a couple of turns, and I was right behind the goal there. And honestly, the way Calvert-Lewin's been playing in how it's been this season up to now, I was honestly like, oh, he's gonna stuff that. When he come in on his left at first, I just thought he was gonna stuff it, but he done really well, didn't he? It was brilliant. Then Undai getting his goal. Undai took it really well, didn't he? It was a great goal The way he got put through, I think it was Garner, put him through, and he ran all the way down. Then again, like kind of, he dropped his shoulder and sold Dragusin, wasn't it? Dropped his shoulder, looked like he was going to go in on the right, and then went left and banged it. It was a lovely finish again, right in front of me as well. And then the own goal to make it 3-0 from Archie Gray was brilliant. So there was a lot, Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting his goal. The crowd were well up for it. It was brilliant the way the crowd were from the start of the game as well. At the beginning of the game as well, they passed out loads of flags. Like Everton had left loads of flags at the park end. It's normally all up at the Gladys Street, the other end, but the flags were all up our end. So we had loads of excitement and chanting and shouting before the game began as well. So the crowd were well up for it, and that rubbed off. Then the team started really well and quick, and that it all rubbed off, and that's how it works, isn't it? It's great, like I say, great game to be at. It was though, like it was a funny one. We were 3-0 up at half time, but myself and all the crowd around me, especially all the guys I talk to and sit with, we were all still like really nervous at the fact we were 3-0 up, and just still dead nervous that we've seen what's happened. Look at the Bournemouth game in Aston Villa earlier this season, and just the way we've been this season, we were still dead nervous, and then we got a lot more confidence getting towards the end until they got that goal late on. Kulusevski, probably one of their only players that played all right, to be honest with you. But he played well. Kulusevski played okay anyway. But for his goal, like, I don't know what Pickford was doing to make us nervous. I mean, to let them get one with Kulusevski, and then to let Richarlison of all people get one in like the 93rd minute or something like that. There was only 4 minutes added on. I think it was 92 Richarlison got his. So we're all then, like the entire crowd, you could feel it. Everyone was completely on edge thinking, oh, don't do this to us, don't throw this away. They didn't anyway. We did obviously hold on to the win, 3-2, and it was, like I say, it was a great game to be at. What I will say though as well, that Lindstrom and Jake O'Brien were brought in to the starting lineup. I thought those two players, Jesper Lindstrom and Jake O'Brien, had brilliant games in my opinion. I thought they were excellent. I don't know about you guys and what your opinion is on how they played, but honestly, I thought they were great. Lindstrom just looked brilliant. He really did. The running on him, he covered so much ground. When he come off, I think it was like maybe 70 odd minutes or something like that. When he come off, he got a standing ovation. Come across right in front of us, clapping us back as well. But he was brilliant. He got he get a couple of assists, and he was just all over the place. He ran himself into the ground, and that's what you want to see, isn't it? The shot on target as well. Having a go at goal. And Jake O'Brien just looked solid. Looked really good. Just going to go over some of your comments. But thing is, well, before I do get to the comments, we just, like I say, we done everything we needed to in the first half there against Spurs. Are a good side, aren't they? They're not doing very well because I think it's just it is a team of individual players. Spurs at the moment, they just don't seem to know how to play together, and I'm really surprised that Postecoglou's still in a job there, to be honest, because they should really be doing better. So they're a good side, but that first half, and for the majority of the second half, we made them look like a really poor side, which is not like us to do, and that's why it was so good to be there, so refreshing. So quite a few. Let's go through. So much better when the players are doing more than just defending. Ash, yeah, that's another point. I'd love to see how we. Just getting a drink. Sorry, I'd love to see how we set up tomorrow. I'd love to see if he does the same, or because we're away from home against a good Brighton as well. I'd love it to be the same. Just going out and actually trying to play football, like you've said there, Ash. It's so much better when the players do more than just defending. You're exactly right. we were actually playing football. Me and the guys around me, we're all like looking at each other and like having a laugh, saying, "Is this free flowing football coming from Everton Football Club? Like from our team at the moment? This is it was weird to see, refreshing to see, surprising, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be, but it was. But it was just so enjoyable to actually be there and watch, and that's why I say like tomorrow will be really interesting against Brighton because we're away from home. It's going to be David Moyes' first game away from home with us this term. That I'd like to see us go there with him instilling the positivity and confidence in that team that look what you did to Spurs. You can do this to Brighton. You can go and play football, get the ball down, play it round, play like we did last week, and go out there and give Brighton a game of football and not just resort straight back to this defensive silly play. Sometimes it's necessary. I refer again back to like the Cities, Arsenal's, Chelsea games, those sorts of games. Sometimes it might be necessary, but you still like to see your team at least try and play football because we all know they can, don't we? Although we're still making costly mistakes. So Ash, that's you as well. Costly mistakes. Would you by any chance be referring to the Kulusevski goal, that Pickford one? Pickford comes out he's in kind of no man's land, isn't he? Stuck there, and the way Kulusevski finished it, just chips it over a bunch of players and finishes it. Is that what you're referring to? But yeah, the mistakes have got to be knocked in the head completely. You might always get the odd one or two. That it's natural, isn't it? They are still only human, like. But the amount of silly mistakes we've done all season has got to stop. And I hope and love to see if Moyes had just kind of nipped that in the bud. But we'll see, won't we? Time will tell. Cheers, Ash. Thank you. Wayne R says the first half against Spurs we looked boss, but we done it Everton's second half and my nerves were gone. Yeah, Wayne. the entire I think Everton fans' nerves were gone. You could feel it in the stadium. You really could. Just that first one, when that first one went in, you could just feel it. And then Spurs come at us straight again as well, and you could just feel we were like, it was like we were like, oh no, not again, please, not again. But we got through it. Didn't we? Anfield Road out in the loft. I mate, you okay? Let's see. Mundane Adventure says a lot of Bournemouth at home. PTSD around the ground at half time. Where are you? Where are you, Marcus? Or you're saying a lot like Bournemouth? Sorry, Marcus. I think you're saying a lot like the Bournemouth game. Mundane, that it was PTSD all around the ground. The Bournemouth game when you're 2-0 up, and it was even worse the Bournemouth one, wasn't it? Well, obviously worse because we lost, but worse that it was like their first goal was like 88 or something like that. He beat us 3-2. Shocker. Even Wayne says even playing against Villa we played better football, more effort. Players were like night and day from the week before. Yeah, I agree. The Villa game where they beat 1-0, Moyes' first game, where I think as well Moyes had only had the job for like a day or something then. Wayne, hadn't he? So he didn't really make any changes. He stuck with the same team because I think he hadn't had enough time to see anything. But I really liked his second game. We've got Spurs at home and his second game, and he makes the changes. Lindstrom straight in for Harrison and Jake O'Brien in at the back. I wasn't sure if he was going to play a back three of O'Brien, Branthwaite and Tarkovsky, and then have wing backs in Mikalenko and Lindstrom. But no, it wasn't. It was Jake was at right back, and he played really well, honestly. Anybody else, any thoughts on Lindstrom and O'Brien's performances, or anybody else? I seen somebody, when I started my video before, I seen somebody mentioned Decore, and I do think that, although I think his effort's there, I do honestly, I think his effort's there, but I just think he seems to slow down every attack, Decore. he seems to turn around every time it gets up to him and he's there. He turns round on it. I've still not forgiven him over that West Ham game as well. I don't know if I will this season. He's going to have to do something for where he wanted all the time in the world to get that shot off against West Ham. But what's your thoughts on all the other players' performances against Spurs, guys? Because I honestly just thought we played exceptionally well. A bit of loss of concentration late in the second half for their goals, but other than that, I thought the performance was excellent. You're doing a watch along tomorrow. Thanks for asking, Rob. Rob, yeah, I'll be in here doing a watch along tomorrow. I was going to get to that in a bit, but yeah, now that you've asked, I'll be here doing the Brighton game tomorrow. We'll have a look at it. I'll have it on the screen behind you guys. I'll be having a watch. But yes, we'll definitely cover that. See how that goes. We'll come to the Brighton game at the end of this video. We'll get our little pre-match review and thoughts on that. Thanks for asking though, mate. Gary said, do you think this is because of a change of style or by a product of Spurs being so open? Gary, a bit of both. Just so you know, Gary, who comments there, is my mate who's helped me sort out the problems I had with the stream before. My tech guy. So, Gary, yeah, I think it's a bit, definitely a bit of both. Spurs were bad. Let's not beat around the bush about that. Spurs were awful, weren't they? They were looking like we were a few weeks ago. They couldn't really string any passes together. They were really open at the back. They are missing players, so but you can only play against what's on the pitch against you, can't you? So a little bit of both, but I really do think that it was a bit of a change in, well, not a bit, there was a lot of a change in style with us. So maybe they weren't prepared for that. There was a big change in style to how we'd recently been playing. Players on the pitch, like I say, that just the two changes made a massive difference. Just thought Lindstrom was brilliant. So I think, Gary, there's a bit of both in there. The mistakes for the goal, as you were referring to, yeah. Patrick says, thoughts on Marcus Edwards from Sporting Lisbon. Seen 1 or 2 European games. Haven't seen enough to say we'll fix our attack. But at least Mbolo and Weir have experience in important games. Ash says it's old Yeller time for Decore. Yeah, I'm gonna get onto the transfers, so we'll touch on that in a minute. Patrick, cheers, mate. Wayne says Jacob Ryan looked good. I don't understand what the Ginger Ninja's problem was with him. No, I think there was definitely some sort of issue between him and Dyche. I think this is alleged. Don't want any lawsuits. I think it just doesn't look right, does it? Doesn't look right. I said in the last video last week that I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that Dyche was close to Michael Keane, and has been for a long time, but Keane wasn't getting in. Don't know if he didn't want to put O'Brien in. That's me guessing. That's me guessing completely. So I don't know. Tom Cannon has just signed for Sheffield United for an undisclosed fee. Fine, mate. They can have him. What do you think about that, Frankie? Personally, I think they can have him. I honestly don't think Tom Cannon would be our answer. I really don't. Undisclosed fee. They were talking like 15 or 12 million or something last week as well. So, Terry Dactyl, thanks for joining again, Terry. I said we will see how good we were against how bad Spurs were over the coming weeks. Too early to judge anything. That's a good point. It's a really good point. It is too early to judge that. So we will see. Tomorrow's a big one, isn't it? Although it's also going to be hard to judge on tomorrow because Brighton away is obviously a tough game. Brighton are a good side. We just got to see how we play, how we set up and how we get out against them. Do we go out and give them a game, trying to put things together, or do we revert back to that defensive style? Hopefully not. Doesn't matter how bad Spurs were under Dyche, people will still play for a draw. I believe that too. Scott has said, hello mate, I am from Turkey, I'm an Everton fan. Can you say hi Turkey? Hi Turkey. Hi Turkey. Come on you toffees, it's another must-win game Saturday. Yeah, agreed. So move on. Anyway, Spurs, I think we all agree Spurs was fantastic. Fantastic result. We shouldn't have let them back into it and let it go too close, but look, we come away with the 3 points and that's all that we all desperately want and need, isn't it? Some Everton news this week. We'll move on to before we get to the Brighton game. Big Everton news is that we have brought in Charlie Adam and we brought Alan Irvine back as well on the coaching staff. What are your thoughts, everybody? Charlie Adam. Obviously, he played for Liverpool. He's coming as a set-piece coach. I don't really, personally, I don't really care that he played for Liverpool or where his career was before he's gone into coaching. Not as like a set-piece coach anyway. It's not like he's on the front line or anything like that. But what's everybody else thoughts? Because I've seen some things on like social media. Some Blues are like, don't want that red at our club, this, that, the other. But I don't know, like, if he can do a job, and this is the thing where I am. If it's a big if he can do the job as a set piece coach, then okay, if he brings stuff to us. But being a set piece coach, like, it's a tough one, isn't it? Tough one, set piece coach, because you need people there to like take the set pieces, and that Dwight McNeil we're missing at the moment. David Moyes actually mentioned this earlier. Dwight McNeil is big on our set pieces, and we're missing him. So I don't know what's people's thoughts. I'd love to know if halfway line specialist Carl. Toffee Zaros, good to see you Sunday. Good to see you too, mate. Thanks for getting on the video. Phil, mate, thanks very much. I think he's hired to creatively input set piece ideas. I think that's exactly it, to try and create something from the set piece. Well, obviously it is, but yeah, I just wonder what you think, because he was sacked. I mean, he was at Fleetwood, wasn't he? He was manager of Fleetwood, and he was sacked there, I think, after 11 games, something like that. Was it 11 games, or was it no wins in 11? It's something like that. So sacked as Fleetwood manager isn't great, obviously, coming into them but he's, like say, set piece coach at our place. We'll have to wait and see. I just wondered if anybody's got had any issues with that. Wayne said, I don't have any problems with Charlie Adam. He's got more ties with Blackpool or Stoke than he has Liverpool. If he does a good job, what's not to like? Yeah, you're right, obviously. And about his ties, that he's more, it's Blackpool that I'd really remember him from. When he was at Blackpool, he got this set piece reputation, I think, because he get loads of praise from Alex Ferguson, something like that, in the Man United game. Didn't Alex Ferguson say that they just couldn't handle Charlie Adams' free kicks and corners, and his corners alone are worth 10 million or something like that? Am I right in saying that? And I think that probably done a lot for his career at that time, in his career, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't have an issue with it. And Alan Irvine coming back as well. Don't really have an issue with that. Two Scotsmen coming in with Moisey, isn't it? Two of his kind of homies coming in, so to speak. But Alan Irvine was with David Moyes at West Ham, so they've got a lot of history. Alan Irvine obviously was a winger for Everton as well, so no issues there. So he's bolstering his coaching staff, bringing his own people in. And the next thing is for him to look at seeing if he can bring more into the team, some more players, because we are now, what are we, the 24th today? So we're literally like we're 10 days pretty much away from the transfer window closing, and it literally looks like Everton are nowhere near. Well, it doesn't feel like it anyway. We keep getting like, there's links. I've seen, who have you guys seen this week? Like links, that Ernest Nuama we covered last week. Apparently he's now staying at Lyon, because the person Lyon were hoping to get from somewhere else is gone somewhere else, and it's a knock-on effect. So I think now Lyon want to keep him. So I think I've got a feeling that Ernest Nuama is dead in the water. So I don't know what else we've got coming in, or we're looking at right now. It feels like it's pretty flat. Although Moyes did say in his press conference today that he's positive and hopefully can bring players in, but there just doesn't seem to be anything happening. I think it was Julia Bold asked him about the left back, or one of the other journalists asked him about we've only got one senior left back in the team. He was asked about that, and he basically said, yeah, but Ashley Young can play there too, can't he? He said it's our forward that needs somebody bringing in, and a midfielder. So yeah. Terry Dactyl said the Reds connection with Charlie Adam is just daft. The list of Everton players who supported the Reds is long. Jamie Carragher being probably the most recent and famous one, eh? Set pieces just ain't about taking a free kick and corner. It's about the second phase and defending set pieces too. Yeah, Phil, absolutely, yeah. That's it. It's not set piece, coach. You're right. Shouldn't be just about how to knock the ball in and where to be, should it? You're right. It's what happens after that phase of play. Absolutely spot on, mate. And defending them too. Yeah. He's aged like a banana in the summer. Looks the same age as Rooney, 72. Is that Charlie Adam? Must have been that Fleetwood job. Done that to him. Being red and on top of the league makes my stress get worse every game now. My anxiety is through the roof. Oh, all right, mate. How do you think we feel? Thanks for watching, though, Lee. Patrick said Moyes can't put on a full rotation of defenders again at the end of the game. Squeaky heart attack football around the 75th minute. He did bring Keane on, didn't he? I think was it? I think Lindstrom. I think, or Ndiaye. Ndiaye it was. I think went off for Michael Keane, and he I think when they got that one goal, that first goal, Spurs changed and brought Michael Keane on, so we had them five at the back. Patrick, Charlie Brown said Iriobinum isn't a player. He was only brought in as an FFP workaround. Charlie. And Wayne said straight after that Tim was playing sound before he got injured. So yeah, on that, the news of the players. So we've got James Garner and Tim Iriobinum. They are back training with the team, and that's massive for us. Those two midfielders back training with the team. But I'm not sure about you saying he's not a player. He was brought in about the FFP. I don't know about that, mate, because he was, as Wayne said, Tim was playing really, really well start of the season. He looked brilliant, to be honest with you. It was dead unfortunate he got that injury. It'd be really good to have him back. Moyes has said as well today that he'd like James Garner and Tim Iriobinum to have some playing time in the under-23s, ideally. But he did say, but ultimately, if he's got to use them, he has to use them. He's a bit short on players, so if we need them, we need them. So I think they'll both be in the squad tomorrow, James Garner and Tim. Whether they'll get on or not, maybe if he just thinks there's nothing else he can do, he might have to bring one of them on. He probably won't want to if he can help it, but we'll see. On that note as well, though, Dwight McNeil is a shocker, isn't it? He needs could possibly need surgery to find out what's going on. So that's a killer. That Dwight McNeil needing surgery for me. He's obviously been one of our better players definitely this season. Going back to the transfers though, guys, is my screen jittering again at all? I just looked up and seen a little jitter. I think it is. Somebody let me know if it's jittering again. Tim has a surname that earns 120 points in Scrabble. He certainly does, doesn't he, Terry? Yeah, guys, if my screen's jittering, I'm really sorry. I'm not sure why it's doing that again. I will get this sorted for the match tomorrow. Definitely. It's a little but no big deal. Yeah, the picture is freezing, but the audio is fine. Carry on, mate. Thanks, everybody. I assure you, I'll get that sorted for the match tomorrow. But because we're into this already, I will carry on. Going back to, I think a few people have said, Tim, whether or not, whatever reason he was brought in, he has been, he was good. He's been great. So it'll be good to get him back and see what else he's got to give us, in my opinion. Vinny said getting players back gives us a stronger bench instead of goalkeepers. Yeah, 2 keepers on the bench. 2 keepers on the bench is a shocker, isn't it? It is a no-no, really. Moving back to the transfers, though, the other people have seen, as somebody mentioned before, Marcus Edwards of Sporting were apparently linked with a £12 million deal for him. He seemed to be doing all right. Apparently, I can't say that I watched Portuguese football, like I don't. Just seen little bits, and he seemed to be all right. Seemed to be doing okay. But I think this season under Amarin, he was doing okay, and then this season, I don't believe he's got much game time at all. So I don't know what's gone on there. He's been described, I've seen, as electric, so he must be quick, but I don't know. Then there's Briel and Bolo that apparently we're linked with, but I've seen that Everton have actually come out. I only seen this in the Echo anyway, but is it still on, or is that dropped out, people? Is that dropped out? The screen dropped out there, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Still on. It's not on my screen, it's not. Anyway, right, I'll keep going. Sorry about the technical difficulties. So, yeah, I seen on the Echo there, Marcus Edwards and Mbolo. Apparently Everton have said that we have no interest in them at all. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's just if Everton just get linked with these players. The other one I've seen that does seem to be gaining some headway is Dan Neil from Sunderland in a potential £15 million deal. Again, don't know though. Don't know. There's not. It's not like moving quickly or anything. As I say, there's only 10 days to go. It's Dice running the stream. Terry, I like that. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with the stream. I actually think I might know what's going on. That's why I think I can fix it by tomorrow. But anyway, I'll do what I can. And the other one that there seems to keep getting links is Evan Ferguson from Brighton on a loan deal as well. But again, I don't know what he would offer. He had a couple of good. He had a little stint at Brighton, didn't he? Was it last season where he scored in a couple of quite a few games on the bounce and looked all right, but he's not getting in. He's not getting in the team at the moment. So I just don't know. I'd like to see us do something, but what does everybody think? If we don't make any signings, do you think we've got enough to get over the line with what we've got? And bearing in mind, Moyes taking over as well. I just wonder if what your thoughts are on that. Have we got enough to get over the line at the end of this season with what we've got? What are your thoughts on that? Everybody's having a little once I've got on talking for a bit, and then I get back to the comments. some of them are great. No one watches Portuguese football. I think the Portuguese might. Don't know, but they possibly do. Let me see. Give the like button a press, folks. Yeah, that'd be great. Give us a like, everybody. Picture is freezing every now and then, but the audio is fine. It's like a podcast. Lunatic ostrich, isn't it? Charlie Brown's gone. What happened to Charlie Brown? Do you want Nunes? I'm about sick of him. Lee Notman's sick of Nunes. I mean, if you didn't have him against Brentford, then wouldn't have got those points, would you? Wayne says, I'd rather put Keane up front. What does it say? Keep Keane away from the back is a good thing. Wayne, we can't seem to get rid of the Andy Carroll mock-up. Yeah, so injuries. Yeah, this is so. Vinny's, come on, I've said, haven't I? Do you all think we'd have enough to get over the line if we didn't manage to bring anyone in? I don't think as well, we can't go out spending loads of money, obviously, we all know that, don't we? So 4 wins all season says we need a bigger squad, says Terry. It'll be the storm, mate, can't control the wind. What, my stream? I'm not sure it is, mate, to be honest. Frankie says, you think we'll be okay, save our money till the summer? I see, Frankie, this is the thing. I think we'd probably be okay. As good as us. So, and I think we will get a few more wins, more than the teams below us too. So I personally think we'll be okay. Too, to be honest with you. But you know, it's obviously you want somebody else to outscore the goals, don't you? I just like us. If it was only one, if we could only bring one in, I'd like a creative midfielder, somebody that can make things happen right in the centre of the park. I don't know. I'm not quite sure exactly who that would be. I'm not a football scout, but I'd like them to be looking in that area. Lunatic says we need at least a proper striker. Yeah, probably that too. It's nice to talk to a cop-out who isn't a gobshite. Injuries, no, we can't take a chance. Yeah, that's the problem as well, isn't it? You're right there. It's something I haven't taken into account. If we picked up another few injuries, we've got McNeil out and we've had Garner and Timmy Rogbin out. Obviously, if we picked up more, then yeah, you're right. Possibly that would that would be the reason you need more personnel in. We definitely need players, but it's about getting the right players. Yeah. That's the thing with me. You see, I think we've gone down this road before, where we've signed players that make you scratch your head a bit. I think you sign them just for the sake of signing them. Brozier for me is one of them. Like, I know he can possibly be a good player, Brozier, but we signed him when he was out we already knew he was going to be out for like 3 months. Now what's the point of that? Like, what are you doing there, doing that? And then he's obviously got injured. So, but that's just one of those things, isn't it? Hard luck. But like, sign a player, it just seemed a weird one, didn't it? And there's been loads more like that, and I think there has to be a plan. There has to be an actual plan by the manager with the coaching staff, and agreed with like the powers that be, all filtered around, so they've all got this one goal of what we want, what they want, and who they want, and who they're going to go out and try and get, and not just grabbing people willy-nilly because they can. Moyes has repeatedly said he's looking for forwards. We can't score. He knows that's the big problem. Everyone knows it. Yeah, and Roy said we need to bring in at least 2. Moyes looks calm and collective in his news conference. I didn't want him. I do now. El Tel on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey. That's pretty much how I kind of feel at the moment. That I felt like I was quite clear with this, and I was like, I'm not sure if I do want Moyes. I don't think it's the right thing. I don't think he's the person there. I don't think that can be the big master plan to get Moyes in to take us forwards, this, that, the other. Now he's in. I mean, it helps because we won 3-2, doesn't it? It definitely helps that we won 3-2. And we can then look at, we were a lot more positive about it. He sounds great in his press conference, but of course he does because we've just won. So it's all hand in hand, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Vinny said, send Brozier back and get Ferguson from Brighton. And Wayne said, that's a very good shout, mate. That is a good shout. Send Brozier back. The thing is with sending Brozier back, that Chelsea want compensation for it, don't they? But it'd be interesting to know what sort of compensation. Like, obviously, they want some sort of fee or something like that, or for us to pay his wages or something like that. Can't the new owners just do it and then get Ferguson in? That would be a good one. What's everybody think about Willian till the end of the season? A good signing, I'd say. Willian, for me, I really haven't seen him at all for a long time, Wayne. But I'd probably say give it a go if they can till the end of the season. Why not? What could go wrong? Give him a go till the end of the season, maybe. Rozier's been on loan to Spire Hospital. Yeah, that's it, Terry. Yeah, but Frankie said no chance on Willian. We have enough pensioners in our team, in our squad as it is. That's obviously the other point, isn't it? The age of him. But yeah, let's have a look at Brighton tomorrow, because I'll start kind of wrapping this up because we've had a few technical difficulties. As I said, I will be covering the Brighton game tomorrow here, and I will be making sure that the feed is all good and working good. I'll do a few tests beforehand, because when we're doing a live watch along, how is it now? Is it still jumping, everybody? Is the screen still jumping a little bit? Just give me a little feedback on that for me. But yeah, I'll be covering the Brighton game. So what do we think? Brighton away. When I think of Brighton away, I can't help but think of that 2023 game near the end of the season, wasn't it? And we beat them 5-1. What a game! Like, just every time I think of Brighton away, that just straight away pops in there. After that as well, they haven't beat Sid their plates for a good few years now. I think it was 1-1 last season. But Brighton are doing well. Their attack, Matoma, Minte, Pedro, and I think they probably have Welbeck up front as well. It's a decent attack, isn't it? But our defence, I personally think our defence should be able to cope with that. And I think if we go about it and get at them like we did last week against Spurs, I honestly think we can give it a good go. And I think we can possibly get something out of the game tomorrow. What's everybody else's thoughts? As I said, I will be covering that live. Frankie's saying it's okay now. Is it? Yeah, that the feed's okay again. Not jumping for me, it's been sound. That's great. Do you know what? I wonder if I was watching it here as well. That's how I could see the jumping. I wonder if that's messing up the fact that I was watching it as well. So not jumping, that's great. They've got loads of draws this season. They have, haven't they? Brighton, yeah. Let's just check out. They've their last game, obviously against United, wasn't it? Their last game, they won 3-1. Could have been more though. United got a penalty. I think Xerxes was dragged out in the box, so they got a pen to make it 1-1, and then Brighton went on, got another 2, and looked comfortable, to be honest. But United not great. Still wrecks my head how United beat us 4-0. Honestly, wrecks my head. Before that, they beat Brighton 2-0. Norwich in the cup 4-0. Then it was 1-1 Arsenal, 2-2 Villa, 0-0 Brentford, 1-1 West Ham. So you're absolutely right about the draws. They've got loads got loads of them, but their past three, I think it was. They've got they're 3-3 wins all competitions. So yeah, they're all right. They're doing all right, and as I said, their attack is decent. They're sitting in 9th on 34 points. We are in 16th on 20. Bit of a difference there, but I just think if we play the same team, I'd like to see the same team. I don't know about everybody else, but I know we're away from home. I'd still like to see the same team. I'd like to see Lindstrom and O'Brien starting again. I really would. Lindstrom, I was saying for weeks. Lindstrom before Harrison, Jack Harrison, all day for me. It was interesting today to hear David Moyes say that he's an admirer of Jack Harrison and thinks he's got a lot to give. But he did say he just needs a confidence booster and he wants to try and give him that. So that's interesting as well. Let's hope it is that. But for me, I don't want Harrison playing. If Harrison was to start tomorrow, I'd be really disappointed, to be honest with you. Let's have a look what everybody's thinking. Everybody's saying it's all good. Frankie's going 1-1, Wayne 2-1. I'm going to ask for some score predictions in a minute. I'm going to pick 3 of you out. Right, you're on the board. That's what the board is for. And if your score predictions are right, you'll win one of these bobble hats. Okay, one of my bobble hats. So I'll do that in a bit though. At the very end, they have got loads of draws. Wayne said, yeah, they have. Yeah. So that deal said 5-1 was Dyche's best tactical game. However, the background to that was they had exhausting game prior to it against Man U. Well, they've just won the game against Man U. They just played them, so let's hope they're exhausted off that one as well. Hey, Terry. They lost Dunk. He's their mainstay. Yeah, Lewis Dunk. He was good for them, wasn't he, to be fair, yeah. Let's see. He walked out when I was 2. Lee said, my dad's a blue, I'm a red. I think I got disowned in the end. Wayne said, Lee, I can't blame him. I'm surprised he let you stay in the home. Lee said, he walked out when I was 2. Lee, tell us you're messing about that, lad. 'Cause that's savage if that's true. Wayne's put a bet he never looked back. Sorry, mate. That's great banter, that, lads. Don't think he did. I think he just didn't want to buy me a Liverpool shirt. Oh God, guys, superb. What are we thinking though? Against Brighton tomorrow. Let's start like wrapping this up. I don't want to go on any more than an hour when I'm doing my Friday nights like talking previews. I'm going to start doing these every Friday, by the way. Friday night at 5. Everybody, try and get you all involved. Like I say, a little giveaway for tomorrow is a couple of bobble hats. So what I'll do now, I'm going to pick out, guys, write your predictions down. Everton, Brighton tomorrow. Write them down. I'm going to pick something random. I've only got 4 hats, so I'll write a few down and see if anybody gets it, okay? See what you all think, and then I'll tell you what I think tomorrow. So let's pick out. I've got Roy Nixon says 1-1. With those hats along, Roy Nixon 1-1. Charlie Brown 4-1. Everton. Wayne R 2-1 Blues. Let's have a look. Lee Notman says I'll give you 2-1 win. Lee, I've just put 2-1 for Wayne. Just missed out there, mate. I obviously can't repeat it. And Frankie, you've gone 1-1, but I've just put 1-1 for Roy Nixon. Lunatic Ostrich has gone for 2-2. Matthew Booth's got a 3-2 Brighton win. I'm not even writing it on the board, lad. I'm not even writing it on the board. Nah. Matthew, if you win that, I wouldn't even send you a hat either. If you want it, mate. Nah. Get your address and send you something dodgy in the post instead. Lee Notman, if I'll go all out, 7-1 win. Right, Vinny, let's see yours, mate. Frankie's gone 0-1 to them, Frankie, or to us. Frankie, you've had a few guesses, so let's go. Frankie. Frankie 1-0 Everton. I'll put, and Vinny's gone with the set piece specialist 1-0. Right, it's got 5 you on the board there. Vinny, have a different guess than 1-0 for me, mate, then I'll put you on the board and then we'll call it that. 6 people down for this week. If any of you get it, send you a hat, okay? Jake Lafford, 8-2 to Everton, 10-goal thriller. Jake, imagine it was. Imagine it was, and we'll have to go back to that comment. You have to put that bet on now. Put a quid on it. Be about 10,000 to 1. That, you know. Yes, Jake. Vinny, go on. Vinny, I'll put the 1-0 for you, and if it comes in, what's your name? Vinny 1878. It comes in, you and Frankie get a hat. So we've got Roy Nixon 1-1, Charlie Brown 4-1, Wayne R 2-1, Lunatic Ostrich 2-2, Frankie 1-0, Vinny 1878 1-0. Go for that. If any of you guys get that result, I'll leave it here as well so we can see it. Can't even see that board, can you? Am I in the way? There you go. There's your names, guys. So if any of you win it, get that right, I'll get in touch and I'll send you that Mr. Drone hat. Tomorrow as well, the Brighton game tomorrow. I'm going to introduce a little something. I'm going to introduce a little forfeit for me. So anybody watching, right, you might have seen me do this. Done it once before. And I went to do it for the one of the games recently that finished 0-0. Who did we draw 0-0 with? Was it Arsenal, I think it might have been. Not sure. Anyway, I'm going to have a forfeit tomorrow, whereas I'll have some chilies with me, some hot chilies. And if Brighton score a goal, I will eat a chili anytime they score a goal. So let's just hope they don't. Little forfeit, something to make it a little bit more fun for you, not really for me. That's what it's all about, good TV. So yeah, guys, we got your predictions. We're all predicting and hoping for an Everton win. We had our thoughts on Charlie Adam. Didn't really get thoughts on Alan Irvine because I don't think any of us really have much thoughts on him, to be honest with you. I was just interested in the Charlie Adam thought. We covered the Tottenham game last week. The Tottenham game was just a superb result for us, wasn't it? So we had to have a chat about that. Had a look at some transfers that just aren't really happening at the moment, and as I say, we're getting to the business end of the transfer window. So I'm really not sure if we'll see anyone come in, if I'm totally honest with you. Had a little prediction on the Brighton game. My prediction tomorrow, I think, I'm going to write it on the board just so we can all remember, but I'm going to go for 3-2 Everton, okay? 3-2 Everton for me. I think we'll get a few goals and let them back into it, just like the Spurs game. I think we'll go all out, get a couple, and then slowly let them back into it. But anyway, I'll be live here from about quarter to 3 tomorrow, okay? Live watch along. Let's just go over some of your comments before we go. Paul McDonald says Maka 1-0 Everton. Paul, get on next week, mate. I'll make sure it's different people, okay? Get on next week's predictions. 8-2 Everton, Jake. Yes. We have to score first to get anything. That's the only way. I think we might do, but you never know. Because of the positivity last week, and I don't want to get too over the top about it, but because of the positivity and the way we played, maybe they've got a bit of confidence in there that you never know if Brighton did get one. If we just keep going and try and get something, you never know. I get what you're saying though, Terry. Mr. Drone's hat floats a couple of inches above your head. Superb. Thanks for the live, Nick. Good luck to Moz. Cheers, Charlie. Get the milking. Yeah, get the milking. Oops, missed it, Nick. How's it? Toffee Guy, yeah, good. You okay, mate? No problem at all. We'll be live tomorrow. Toffee Guy live from 2:45 for the Brighton game. Join us then. Thanks, Nick. Good live. Take it easy. Cheers, Wayne. Cheers, Vinny. Jake 8-2 with a double hat-trick for Mikalenko. Now you're 10 million to 1. 10 million to 1. 8-2 double hat-trick for Miko. We'll watch it back later. No probs, Toffee. Enjoy it. Guys, thank you all for watching. Really sorry about the few technical difficulties. I'm definitely going to look into that and get it sorted for the Brighton game tomorrow. Hopefully, anyway. So, guys, join me tomorrow, 2:45. Everton versus Brighton. Watch us get 3 more points against Brighton. Come on, you Blues. Up the Toffees. Thank you for joining, everybody. Have a great weekend. Fingers crossed. See you tomorrow.